Okay, so tier 97 Champion's Demise on hardcore. To answer the question, can charge kill bosses? Now, I would try a 99 or a 100 if I had one, but I've used all of my sigil dust and I just couldn't get one. So it is what it is, but it's not that much of a difference. And we'll have a build planner in the description as well. We will break down the build and go through all of the skills and stuff like that at the end as well, real quick. I'll just try and blast through the mobs here, because this is a charge build. Obviously, it's just going to decimate everything. Hello, cat. It's just going to decimate everything. This is slightly different than the one in the previous video, so this has not got quite as good AoE. This I would call more of a late game farmer than a speed farmer, because it does have less movement speed too. So the builds are very similar, but also different enough that I think they warrant a video each. I'm going to try and clear these enemies up. Pretty much the same play loop as well. You use leap for mobility to get around. Charge just everything. Cooldowns are absolutely wild on this one. I do realize as well, I haven't actually put my new Genesis thing on as well. So I just got that on Malthus. I have both of the Uber things for the pet now, and I haven't equipped it, which I might try and quickly do mid-run, because that is going to boost my damage real nice. This is hardcore though, so like trying to respec mid-run is pretty dumb. With Drifting Shade. Alright, I'm not going to get to do it this time. So, you know, this isn't even with my best gear on, which is kind of a theme for a lot of my runs. I end up with like not the best build, but there you go. It's what it is. Like with the other build, you want to get Wrath of the Berserker up, kick, spend all of your fury to get the snapshot on the damage there, and that will keep up as long as you can keep your Berserk up, which should be pretty easy. We're running Unconstrained, and we're running the passive that causes Brawling Skills to give you 3 seconds of Berserking. And we're casting those like no tomorrow, so that shouldn't be too much of a problem. I'm not going to be taking any shrines or anything like that, because this is just like trying to showcase the build, really. Now, like with my previous version of this build, this doesn't require any Uber uniques, but it does require quite a few uniques, which can be a bit of a pain to get. I'll show you those in a second. But yeah, I mean, this just murders any content in the game. Tier 100 whatevers, right? Not a problem. I'm just a little bit worried that while I'm talking, I might forget one of these stone tablets, which is going to be... Is it like literally ruin the whole video, but we'll be fine. Alright, where is this last stone? Is it down here? Or am I going in the wrong way? I'm going the wrong way. I've made a pretty big mistake there. It looks like I missed my charges. I'm going to kill all these enemies because that was a big group and that was really satisfying to do. And I see a question in chat right now, but I think it'll be good for the video. The way that charge is having such a low cooldown here that you're seeing is, first of all, we have a very high rank in charge. We have like charge on our ring. We have the Evernight on the pet, so it's really high level, so it just has a very low cooldown to begin with. But we've got Disembowel as well. And we have the Ring of Ravenous, so we're bleeding enemies when we hit them with charge, and then Disembowel gives us cooldown when we kill bleeding enemies, which is really, really, really nice. Let's put this stone down. And then we're gonna show... Oh, that was very close. These red lightning shamans are mega dangerous. But yeah, we're gonna show the single target DPS here, if I can hit the enemy. Kind of messed up a little bit there. But yeah, not too much of a problem for charge. I am missing a lot of them because it's kind of goofed in some ways, but you can see we are not really doing too bad whatsoever with taking this boss out. And this is probably like one of my worst goes because I was concentrating on talking. But it can absolutely melt bosses. I don't think I actually hit a single charge there, which definitely didn't do the build any justice. But again, you can also see my glyphs are not a particularly high level. But yeah, this works extremely well. And if you're lucky and actually hit a couple of charges, that boss would have gone down in half of the time. But I won't retake the video, you know, in the interest of giving you guys like a fully transparent run there. If you focus a little bit more and get a little bit luckier with your charges, it will do a lot better. But there's a run for a high tier dungeon. Now looking at gear, we have a Tusk Helm, great for any berserking build, which this is. 4 DR on this. Juggernauts is, you want Juggernauts, it's so good for armor. Pain Gorgeous Gauntlets is how we're doing all that single target DPS. Increases our basic skill damage by 200%. And we're combining that with adaptability for just insane damage. Like Lunging Strike is hitting for like 2.5 mil in attack, and it's fast as hell. So this is our single target damage. We're just using it to get our fury up. We kick. Kick does like an insane amount of damage as well, like 6 to 10 mil. And then we just go like 2 mil, 2 mil, 2 mil, 2 mil, 2 mil, and then, you know, 8 mil again. And then we just reset that cycle over and over again. Tear bolts, because charge makes us unstoppable, so we proc this out the wazoo. Of course, we got Ancestral Charge, Ghost Walker for speed. This is a Max Fury build, so we got the Magnum Opus. Edge Masters, because this scales with Fury, and, you know, it's the only real damage thing that doesn't need a core skill to make use of it. We've got the Ravenous. This is what's given us the bleed on the charge, and it's just a really powerful ring for the Brawler build, so definitely a-okay there. I've got a regular amulet here. Now, you could use a Salix if you have it, and that would be insane. But just like a regular, like 2 DR wallop, or like cooldown reduction plus DR. There you can see I have like 2 damage rolls here, DR and cooldown, but you can go double DR if you prefer. Then as for the skills, it's the same as the previous build almost, except for we have moved the points that we had in kick to lunging strike to scale that damage up. And we have the bleed here because it does actually echo that bleed to all of the other enemies that have been hit by a non-basic skill attack, which is what the Pain Gorges do. And that hits for a lot. That's an insane bleed because it scales up with all of this damage from adaptability and from the gloves themselves. All of the Berserk passives, this is how we get in our Berserking. I've got 1 point in Duelist here because I did have it in No Mercy, but, you know, a little bit of extra attack speed on the lunging strikes goes a long way. And then, of course, this is an unconstrained build because it just synergizes so well with this. Paragon board, exactly the same as the previous build, but key points are we're running Exploit here for vulnerability. We've got Disembowel for that cooldown reduction. All of the Berserk damage we can possibly get our hands on. We've got Ambidextrous on Carnage board. It's important to have this here because this is going to boost all of these blue nodes, which are really high value. Then up on the Decimator board, we have Brawl. And then we have the Warbringer board here with Aya because we want all of this max fury. And you see I've got a lot of resistances from the Paragon board, which makes gearing quite easy on this one. And finally, we'll take a look at the pet. And yeah, I mean, I've got a pretty good pet. I've got Evernight Tempest with efficiency and safeguard. This gives you a huge amount of crit. Damage reduction. Now, you can go for breaking if you're on softcore, which will give you a different source of vulnerability. So you can drop exploit and run something else instead. I'm thinking like perhaps you could think maybe using, let's have a look off the top of my head. I think maybe like Territorial Wrath perhaps would be good choices. You've got the you've got Evernight for the plus points here with Tempest, which basically keeps it on permanently. This is like the god combo, so you want to go for this if you can. And then for Flash of Adrenaline, I've got the cooldown reduction, the duration, and gripping. Now, I actually did just get Genesis, so I'd have Genesis there, but I wasn't using it. This will make my damage go up way, way, way higher. With my build, I do have a Grandfather. I just want to kind of address that real quick. You absolutely do not need to have this. You just have a weapon, a two-handed weapon, ideally a sword, with the same stats as this weapon here, but with the Ancestral Charge aspect. Oh, sorry, not with the Ancestral Charge, with the Brawler's aspect on it. And that will make your AoE go way, 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 way up. But obviously, if you have Uber Uniques, they can be worked into the build. But as always, I'll keep the build up to date with the most powerful version. This is it right now, but there'll be a changelog in the bottom for you to check out. But that's the build. Hope you enjoy it. Let me know if you do. And don't forget to subscribe. Check out the Twitch, link in the description below. And catch you on the next one. Peace.